episode of Carla's chatline. We're starting early today, guys. Evelyn fell asleep, and well, we kind of have to take advantage of the time. So we're here early. I will let people know. Let me see. I was trying to, but yeah. I don't even think I can do it. I was trying to charge the other phone that I have. Because I told you guys, there's this other phone. I like how I feel like I'm at work. Hey, I was going to get ready. It didn't. How's your day going? It's good. The fuck? Oh, God. Jesus Christ, help me. All I see is a baby coming. Okay. Anyways, it was a little, it was good. It was good. It was a little crazy. It was, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Hold on, you guys. Let me do this. My freaking iPad died, and I'm trying to. Let's see if I can go on here and say. So yeah, I know it's like an hour earlier, but it's okay, you guys. I just rather, let Evelyn sleep and then do what I gotta do. But anyways, you guys, again, we are here another day. I think we can go live on. Should we? Oh, chingadera. My iPad was supposed to be charged. It might charge soon. I don't know, but next time we'll try. We'll try next time. Try to go live on TikTok and on Instagram, but not today, guys. I did not have time to try to do all these different things at once. I was like, girl, I could barely trying to figure out what I'm doing right now. So anyways, we're here another Friday. This is our 4th Friday. And again, if you guys have any stories that you guys want to share, if there's any advice you want to give, call the line or send in your text messages. It is 510-646-0448. You guys can text a story. We will read it on here, and or if you want to call, you can also do that. Tripping. I thought I seen like my dog in the corner of the screen, but my dog's not even in the room. So I don't know if there's like a little fly. Yeah, there's like little dust particles flying around. Girl, please. Anyways, but yeah, if you guys haven't checked out the podcast, check it out, you guys. This week, we started, Mondays is going to be Carla and Eric's episodes, and then on Wednesdays, this is going to be Carla episodes. So every week we will have Mondays, Carla and Eric, and then on Wednesdays, we'll have just me. So check it out. If you guys already listened to it, thank you very much. Make sure you guys subscribe so you guys know when they do go up. They do go live every Monday and Wednesday at midnight. So you can listen to them when you're driving to go to work. So yeah, you can listen to them in any podcast platform like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any podcast place that you could think of that you want to use, you can totally go do that. And it's called Beyond the Bars, and it's a picture of just like me and Eric, like when he was in prison. What else? What else I can update? Somebody was asking me about lives. about lives, and I was like, oh, you know, we can't do any lives because he is still a patient and he can't really do a lot, you know. So next month is his last month, and so he will be just a worker there. He won't be a patient anymore, so we can do more. So we were talking about like doing lives, you know, next month, maybe like on TikTok, because it is easier. TikTok and Instagram are way easier to do. Hi girl, I'll listen at work tomorrow morning to the new pod. Yes, girl. Um, oh shit, está bien dulce. Um, oh, for the giveaway winners, there was, I just want to clear it up because I feel like some people were confused. For the giveaways, there was 4 winners, which I did say that. I said that a million times. There was 4 winners. TikTok can bring him live on the screen. Yes. Yes. Hey girl. Hello. Yes. So the 4 winners, you guys, there's 4 winners, and then everybody else that participated that sent me their address received a pair of lashes, because I told you guys I would send you guys the zodiac. Your zodiac. That's why I told you. Tell me your zodiac. So, hold on. I don't have it with me. Oh, it's right here. Hold on. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Damn it. It's not here, but somebody was going to receive awesome for TikTok. Yeah, so, okay, so real quick, because I'll tell you. One person was going to receive theirs today from California. I don't remember who, because obviously they don't put the name on it, but one person was supposed to get it today. Other people will get it, other people that are in California, other people will get it on the 11th, which is tomorrow. And then the rest of you guys will get it on the 13th. So it's right before Valentine's. I was going to say Christmas. So, because some of them are going to a different states. So I guess they set it up by the 13th. So let me know if you haven't gotten it by the 13th. Because the 13th is 13th night. Okay, don't be sending me no message, email talking about, girl, I haven't gotten it. And it's the 13th in the morning. That don't count, okay? I got mine today. Thank you so much. I loved it. Okay, Jess, girl. So you was the one that got it today. Oh, nice. Thank you so much. I'll post a pic tomorrow. Yes, girl. Well, I hope you wear your lashes. Hope you enjoy your lashes. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm still going to be looking for a lot more lashes because, girl, I mean, I still have some. But I told you guys on I've been trying to do, okay, so anyways. Instagram, okay, so guys, let me just inform everybody, okay, because I feel like I have a lot to say. I will. Thank you. Everything is so cute. Okay, girl, you're welcome. Yeah, wear at least one tomorrow and share a picture, please. Share a picture, please. Okay, updates. Okay, let's do updates. Okay. New podcast situation Mondays, Wednesdays, midnight they go live. Mondays is Carla and Eric, and Wednesdays is just me. Right now is what we're doing. And yeah, subscribe to the podcast. Okay, what the hell was I gonna say? Oh my god. Anyways, then TikTok. So TikTok is going to be where we go live when we do. And I want to start recording our podcast when we can. And probably post a little bit of clips on TikTok, you know? First podcast episode on Monday was great. Yay! Yeah, see, I need you guys to let me know what you guys want us to talk about. Because I'd be like, I don't know what the hell people want to hear. What if it's like boring? Or I'd be thinking too much, you know? And then Eric is like, whatever you want to talk about. Or actually, now he'd be like, oh, let's talk about this. Oh, okay. So we will be, we already had one from Monday, but I don't think he wants that one because he's like, no, let's do another one. I was like, okay. So we're going to have to record a new one for Monday episode. So let me know, what do you guys think we should do? What should we talk about? What do you guys want to hear? What? Because the one we had recorded was about his rehab, like, I think we might have to do it again because I think it was like the first one and we were like, but I'm gonna have to listen to it to see what it sounds like. Like rehab and when he went to rehab, but I think it could be done better, you know? Like the day he went to rehab and how that kind of went. I think he was nervous, so he kind of, when I would ask him, he was like, I don't know. But we can do a better one about like the whole, you know, going to rehab on the day and like how that went and la 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 la. So that's one idea that we already did, but I don't know if it's too private, but maybe his perspective of what he actually calling me right now. Hello? Let's see. I'm gonna fall off this damn chair. Hold on, you guys. Can you hear me? Let me show you guys. She was crying by herself. What is he having a party over there? He's definitely having a party over there. I don't know of what he went through post-release. I think that's another topic we could talk about because I've thought about that one. Yeah. You want to see? You can't really see. He froze. ¿Ah? Okay, pues. Somebody said hello. Okay, because we have some ideas for the podcast. Okay, me too, bye. And then, I didn't stop. And where he is now in his plan. Yes. Have you talked about in a relationship with someone who is in rehabilitation? Example, how you would have to help them with support, etc. Have you talked about in a relationship with someone who is in a rehab? No, because Graf's not in a relationship. But I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. Yes, I haven't talked about that at all. Or post release after so many years. Send hellos, Eric, please say. Today's Eric's birthday. He's 33 today. Or dealing with someone who has an addiction, signs to look for safe. Yes. You know, one thing about him now is that he kind of wants to share a lot of like, because I was like, you know, you went through something that a lot of people have probably gone through and people will go through and people will probably see whatever. I was like, so you should talk about, you know, your situation, like whatever you want to share. And so I'm going to tell him, happy birthday. Yes, I'll let him know. Yeah, we can do that. We can talk about that for sure. And then maybe, okay, we'll do something like that. I'll let you guys know. And then I'll do like a follow-up with like dealing. I mean, we can go hella deep into. I made my husband listen to the Monday podcast with me. Oh Lord Jesus, what do you say? Don't be listening to these people. I could totally talk about, you know, what it's like, at least from my own perspective. And mind you, I mean, I know there's been people that have gone through the same thing with like a loved one and then they go through the same shit. And I've talked about it on Instagram. So maybe I can do a podcast like talking about like, you know, what were the signs that I saw in him, you know what I mean? But like go more into deep. So we'll see. But yeah, so let us know. Those are good ones. I will totally bring them up to him and I will let him know. What was I gonna say? Yes, your own perspective on your Wednesday pod. Yes, I will totally talk about it because I feel like, yes, you know, and it's very crazy. It's very crazy. So I think I got something in my eye. It's very crazy, so I can do that. What else? I was gonna tell you guys something else. Oh, okay, yes. So, cause I know it's like, obviously I like to let people know, cause I like to let people know. You know, I was telling people the other day, like, yeah, yes, because I've been in a relationship and had no clue my partner was on meth. Well, maybe we could talk a little bit about it on here. Because remember, another thing, too, is that people that, hi, love, XOXO, hope all is well. Hello, Jennifer. Girl, you're here, girl. Some people that watch the YouTube don't listen to the podcast. And some people that listen to the podcast don't watch YouTube. So it's kind of like, whatever. It's okay if I repeat myself. Because sometimes I forget stuff. Sometimes I remember stuff. But at least from something went in my eye, you guys, and I think it was a piece of like glue, like hard glue that went in my eye. At least for me, because I had never been around anybody that did other than alcohol. Like alcohol is a thing, that to me was very. To me, alcohol is very normal because my dad was an alcoholic. When I was like 18. When I was like 18, like I started drinking, and then like everybody in my family like would drink, my cousins, my uncles, everybody, right? So it was very normal. So that's the only thing that I was ever around, really. And then anything else, like other than like cannabis. Can I say cannabis? Because I can't say that weed. I don't know. My eye is really like burning. But anyways, yeah, so I don't know. And so the first time, I didn't really know. And when you don't know, it is a very scary feeling because you're like, what the fuck? Like, am I tripping or are you tripping? Because they start doing really weird shit, like they won't sleep. Like, he wouldn't go to sleep because he would be tripping. And this happened out of nowhere because when he got out of prison, like, he was already, like, in the, like, fence of, like, people and, like, what the heck? Like, I don't want people around me, which totally normal when he got out. And then as time went on, he was like, fine, whatever. And all of a sudden, I started noticing, like, he wouldn't go to sleep. And I'm like, are you not going to go to sleep? And he's like, no. And okay. And then he would, like, stay up. And he'd be like, if somebody comes in the door, and I'm like, but nobody's going to come in the fucking house. Like, there's no way. And if you guys ever watched our lives on Instagram where we lived the first time, we lived on the second story of this lady's house, and there was a gate, like a metal gate, and she would lock it every night, okay? And there was just no fucking way anybody could come in there. And if anybody did come in there, you would hear it, okay? And yeah, he would just stay up, and I'm like, okay, whatever. At first I was like, whatever, like he's just his PTSD, whatever. Like, that's what I thought. And days went by and it just got worse. Like, then he started accusing me of like cheating, and I was like, bitch, I don't even leave the house. Like, I wouldn't leave the house because this was during COVID time. And they started accusing you of cheating. And cheating, they won't sleep. What else? Arguments about fucking cheating, and you'd be like, what? They'll start seeing shit that it's not even there, and you're like, then they make you feel like you're crazy, and you're like, what? Oh, there was somebody trying to get in here, and I'm like, who, bitch? The fucking ghost? Like, he would work at nighttime. Yes, paranoid. Yes, very paranoid. Like, people are following, and I'm like, maybe I shouldn't talk about his stuff, but whatever. That's what I went through, and it got to the point where it was just annoying. Like, it was like, there's nobody following us, bro. He was like, in I wouldn't let him drive, but then he would, and it would be like Fast and the Furious, because he's like, just in case somebody was following us, doing all these crazy turns. And I'm like, oh Lord, we're gonna fucking die. Like, we're legit gonna die, because he's gonna be like, like, I just don't know. And but when I would ask him, like, are you on? And he'd be like, no. And then when you do ask them, they get really mad, and they just make an argument. And yeah, they become very distant, and like distant, but then not distant. Hyper? What do you mean hyper, girl? I'm trying to think like how. Um, yeah, they start hallucinate. I guess hallucinations. You know, they start seeing things. There was always somebody trying to break into our places, and I'm like, there's nobody, bro. He would hear voices, like no joke. He would be like, the neighbor was. And sometimes, like, when I would be like, no, he would get so mad. He'd be like, yes, like, you don't believe me, like, you think I'm crazy, and then I would have fucking be like, okay, you're like, yeah. Mine would have a lighter, but I didn't smoke cigarettes or kind of, like, he would just be like, Eric would break all our electronics, you guys. It's kind of, and it's, I only laugh because I found a video on TikTok of this girl, of this lady that I guess she had went through something, and she was like me when I was like on one, and it's like, that's what he would do, and I would get so mad, you guys, because I couldn't leave any, like, literally, I couldn't leave anything around like this. I couldn't even have this around him because he would break into it. Because let me tell you something. I'm gonna put his ass on blast right now because I didn't even like him in the beginning. I didn't even like him from the get-go. Mine was hyper, like he has so much to do with anxiety. Huh. Interesting. Maybe that's what he had too. I'm trying to think. Yeah, Eric had, I don't even know what the fuck. But it was more like that whole the not sleeping, the seeing shit, hearing shit, thinking people are following them. So anyways, this guy, right, he met him when he was in prison. This is why sweaty often in the face now that I look back. Yes, and let me tell you, their eyes change. Their eyes look lifeless. Like their eyes are like this. And I don't even know how to explain it, but you can, like, their eyes just look different. Like, I don't know how to explain it. But their look just looks different. Dilated pupils, yes. And they barely fucking blink. Like, I mean, they do blink, but it's like, or their eyes are like they move a lot. So this one friend, right? This is why Eric got extra time added to his sentence, because he was hanging out with this fucking guy named, there's a lot of fucking Erics. He knows a lot of Erics, which I'm like, you should not be hanging out with Erics, okay? Just saying. So anyways, and whatever, he was nice. I feel like a lot of people are nice, but it's when they do things, they're just, and you know, 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝕓𝕬𝕓𝕖, like, Eric was already going through his shit, but then this homeboy started sending him videos of, like, YouTube videos of, like, you know, the FBI is, like, spying on people, and yes, same stare in, his eyes were shaking. Yes! And that's how I would tell that I'm, like, after the first time, I was like, oh, I know, something. The second time he relapsed, well, that was the last time that when I was with him, I already knew, and I couldn't even fucking sleep because I'm like, I don't know what he's gonna do. Is he gonna fucking run away? Is he gonna just take off? Is he gonna fucking, oh girl, it was a mess. It's stressful. It's, no, I would not wish that on anybody. Like, just don't deal with it, okay? Just don't deal with it. But it is sad at the same time, you know. It's very sad to watch somebody you love. It's like, damn, like, I want to help you, but it's like I can't help you because it's like pointless. Like, I just can't. Like, you need to be able to do it yourself, and then I can help you, but you know, whatever. But oh my god, so why the fuck these videos? So this is why I could never leave all of my electronic things. He broke them, like, on purpose, because he was like checking to see if there was stuff in there, if people were listening to him, you know, if people were listening, if they were bugged. I'm talking about to the point where homeboy took the damn light fixtures from the ceiling and pulled them out. And he would do stuff like this more when I wasn't home. So when I would get home, I'd be like, what the fuck did you do? I couldn't even leave you alone. So it was like, you know, babysitting somebody, because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing now? What are you doing now? Like, what are you doing? And that at that time, I still didn't really know, but I knew there was something wrong. And I would tell his cousin, and his cousin's like, he's on something. Like, he's on something. He won't tell me. I was like, I asked him, and he's so pissed off. And she's like, that's why. Like, if you ask him and he's mad, like, there's something. And I was like, I don't know. And then, you know, at that time, like, we were not even sleeping in the same room. Like, he was sleeping in the other room because we had 3 rooms at the time. So I had 2 other rooms, basically. And then he would sleep in the other room by himself with all his shit. Like, he had hella shit. And I'm like, I really don't care because I don't want to deal with you. Like, I really don't, you know? And yeah, like, he would leave sometimes, like, at nighttime, and I'm like, why would you? And it got to the point where I don't need to ask him anything. I wouldn't ask him anything. I wouldn't ask where you're going, when you're coming back. I would just be like, and at that time I had Orejon, like, I had the dog, so I was like, I really don't care. So it would be me and the dog, and he would go, but I would notice that he would go, like, up in the hills, and since there was, like, no houses or trees or anything blocking us, you could see up high, like, far away, and I would see his ass up there, and I'm like, what is he doing? And I remember asking him one time, or I don't remember, but basically he would go up there. Did he stay in the same clothes? No, he didn't. Mm-mm. Uh, he, not, you just brought me like a freaking flashback. He would literally be like, cool, and then he would put on his security clothing. Bitch, I don't know. I don't know why, if it just made him feel, I think it was like, I don't know why, which it would be great to ask him. But I think it was so, I really don't know. I think it was like, so if anybody, I don't know. I really don't know why. But yeah, like, he, you know, whatever. And he would go up there just to see if anybody would come into the fucking house. And I'm like, so you leave my dumb ass by myself, and then you waiting for somebody. All right, whatever. So I just got to the point where I just didn't even care. I was like, okay, if I'm here, I'll just make sure he's not doing anything stupid, and like, whatever, you know, whatever. And yeah, like, it was crazy. At that time, it got like really bad, and it was crazy. Like, girl, I mean, I'll probably have Eric talk about it. But it's like, it just got really, really bad. And like, the day, like, I just couldn't anymore. And like, it was crazy, girl. Like, I feel like he needs to tell that story. Deteriorate the person following so they think he's security. I guess, yeah. Probably, yeah. And so, I would, you know, I got to the point where I just didn't even like him anymore. Because I was like, you're so annoying. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, there's nobody following us. There's nobody trying to do anything to you. Nobody cares about you. Like, it just, you know, but in, you know, me, because I'm okay, you know, I didn't, now thinking about it, like, I didn't realize that to him it was like this huge deal. And you know what? So, when this was going on, we had cable, right? And I remember watching one of those shows that there was it was like a 48-hour or something, and there was a guy, and I had seen that episode already like 2 other times before, and I was watching it. I was like, I'll just watch it, right? And he was talking about that he was on some stuff, and that, you know, he went out looking for this girl, and he was looking for her, and, you know, he ran like a bunch of people. He ran like 2 people over, I think, because he thought that like the police was following him and the FBI was on spying on him. And I was like, that sounds familiar. And then he's like, and then when he's interviewing, he's like, yeah, like, they were on me, like, they were following me. Then I guess they asked like the police, like, is he on like a list or something? Like, what? He says that, you know, whatever. And they were like, no, like, we didn't even care about him. And then they told him, and he's like, well, that's what I thought. And I was like, well, shit, you and this fucking guy, like, so it's just, you know, and they just make it like so real. And then, you know, he like, I'm telling you, I don't know, like, I would tell him, like, you have a guardian angel that is just exhausted, bro, because like, he took off. I came to my mom's one time because I was like, I'm gonna go to my mom's, like, I'm done. And I left him with the dog at the house because I was going to go back. And I'm talking to him on the phone, and then he's like, there's people outside the house, and I'm like, just stay inside. Like, I was like, just stay inside. He's like, no, there's like a bunch of dudes. And I was like, well, then just stay inside. Like, the front gates are closed, the front door is closed, like, just lock it and go to sleep, whatever. Well, no, bitch. He wanted to go in the car and take off. He took off. He calls me, and he's like, they're following me. And I was like, I was just so done, you know, at that point. I was like, you know what, sir? Well, what's happening? And so he took off. He ended up in fucking, not Rosarito. What's the next fucking city after that one? The next big town? Ensenada. Bitch, he ended up in Ensenada. We had never been, we went to Ensenada once. He ended up in Ensenada, and they took away his car with all the shit. They had arrested his ass, and I couldn't find him I was like, he's not answering my calls. And we had a camera in the house because we had a camera in the house, and the dog was by himself in the house. And so I told my mom, I was like Eric's not picking up his phone. He said he was gonna go somewhere. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, whatever. So that time I went by myself. I was like, I gotta go because the dog's by himself. And Odaho would be like crying. So, bitch, I took off like at 6 o'clock from here, 5 o'clock, like late. Because I was like, oh my God. And I was crying in the car because you can hear my dog just crying at the door. He had been in the house all day, all night, all day. So I took my ass back to over there. And so, you know, whatever, I took him out. And I couldn't find Eric anywhere. And I was like, where the fuck is he? So I started going to like, I guess it was a holiday that one time there. And I went to like the El Centro to go see if I could find his ass at the police station. A missing person. I don't even know. I was trying to figure it out. I went to one station and I was like, I'm trying to do a missing person. Like, I don't even know. Like, he just fucking appeared. Like, I don't know. And so then they were like, oh, maybe he's out drinking. And I was like, no, sir, you don't understand. He's not doing that. I was like, oh, okay. And sent me to another place that was closed. And so then I went. Mind you, at the time, I didn't have like a Mexican cell phone situation. I had like a SIM card. Pero se me había acabado el pinche dinero. And I was like, oh my God. Like, oh God. And then my SIM card didn't work. It was a mess. And then his sister calls me as I'm like parked in the parking lot, lost. And I was like, okay, well, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to go back home because I don't know what to do. And she calls me. She's like, Eric called me. And I was like, and she's like, you know, and it wasn't even Eric. I guess it was like a cop called her and was like, we have him here. Like, we need somebody to come identify him because he, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't have an ID. He didn't have any documentation at the time. He barely got it. So I was like, okay. I was like, did they tell you? And they're like, she gave me the number and I called and they're like, he's here. And I was like, okay, I will come. And I didn't want to go by myself because I was scared. And I was like, fuck it. Okay, I'll go. And I went, and then, yeah, he was there, and they were like, he needs to stay here for 48 hours, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, and so he stayed there. They didn't give him his fucking car back, and so we tried to get the car back, but they were just being annoying, so we never got anything back. I'll be back. guys. Evelyn, I looked over, and Evelyn is like sitting up, and I'm like, holy shit. So anyways, did anybody write anything while I was gone? No, nobody said nothing. Okay. And yeah, so then I went back. I was like, I just bought him some food from the Oxxo across the street, and I was like, give him this, because they don't get food, I guess, there. And they're like, do you want to talk to him? I was like, yeah, sure. So they took me, and they're like, okay. And there was like, and I remember, girl, it looked like a dungeon in there. It was like, what year are we in? Like, this is jail. It was like 6 cells, I think. There was no light in there, girl. There was no light in there. And it was cement, obviously. And it was like a door. Then there was like a guard. Did you ever? No, I never did. Never did. Never did. So then, because then if I would have, it would have been a whole different story, you know? But I never did. And in the podcast, I asked him, like, did you ever do anything when you were in prison? And he said, yeah. And I was like, he was just like, I just always made sure, like, I kept everything away from you. And I was like, well, clearly you did a great fucking job. You know, because he never acted like that. Even if, well, towards the end when he did get in trouble because he tested positive for that stuff, for whatever the hell it was, he didn't get visits. So I wouldn't be around him because he got his visits taken away and everything. So, you know what I mean? It was like I never, and the times before we had family visits and he never tested positive, or else I would have taken him away, and they never did. So I don't know. The only times I knew was like when he would drink in there, like I knew because you could tell. But that's about it. But yeah, so then I gave him whatever, but that place was scary. Eric said they gave you a bucket, which somebody from Instagram a long time ago told me they gave you a bucket to use the restroom. So anyways, he's like, they didn't have nothing. You just sat on the floor and you just sat there in the dark. And I was like, great. Did you learn your lesson? So then, you know, I went to go pick him up the next day, and then he was tripping the fuck out again. He's like, oh, don't take me home. And I was like, please, like, I'm just so done with this. So done. So I took him home, and then literally that same day, we got the dog, and I was like, we can live somewhere else. So we went to go look for a new place where we used to live. We ended up going to his cousin's house, his cousin's in-law's house. And he's like, you need to leave because I don't want nothing to happen to you. So I ended up leaving. He stayed. I went back with my mom because he was doing really bad. He was really bad. Like, he was high, like, in the cut, like, at nighttime. Like, because people were following him. People were chasing him. And, you know, I don't know how true. And that's the thing, like, we don't really know what's true and what isn't, you know? And I went back with my mom, and my mom's like, he's so bad. And I was like, I know, but no. And then, yeah, and I was not gonna tell my mom. So then I took him home, but his anger from not wanting to be there, he was so, like, frustrated and mad and angry, and any little thing just set him off. And I was like, I cannot deal with you right now. Like, I just can't. Like, my mom is here. I don't want to deal with you at all. Because we took him to the doctor. I mean, that wasn't going to do anything. Not, like, obviously that wasn't going to do anything. And then I told my mom, I was like, you know, whatever. So the next day we woke up, and I was like, let's go. And she was like, no, like, let's stay. Like, I can ask for another day. You know, I can ask for another day at work. Like, we'll stay another day. Like, he looks really bad. And I was like, I just don't want to deal with this. Like, I don't. So I literally just got some things, and I was like, you know, just stay home. I was like, just stay. And he remembers that shit. He's like, you left me by myself. And I was like, well, no. I was like, I know how you see it, but I did it for myself. I didn't do it for you. I didn't do it because of you. I did it because I was just done. Like, I couldn't handle it anymore. Like, I was literally, like, I was done. Like, I couldn't, dude. I was, like, mentally drained, mentally just drained, physically just done. And so we ended up fucking leaving. We left his ass at the house, and I was like, just take your medicine. And then, yeah, and then he was just there and he got in trouble again. Maybe we'll talk about it. My mom loves to bring up this situation. But we'll have that story time for the podcast because I think it's podcast worthy. Because then he can talk about what the fuck was going on. And then, I left. He stayed in TJ for like a month and a half or something by himself. Because I was like, I just can't no more. And that's, Carla, was he doing this before I don't know what triggered him to do that. I love you for being. I don't know, girl. I really do not know. I don't know because I didn't meet. I think he was because he has always been very open about the stuff he did before he went to prison, and he would always tell me like, yeah, I've done A, B, C, because I'm nosy. I'm nosy. I would ask, have you ever done this? Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? Have you ever done that? What does that feel like? Because I'm nosy. Thinking, girl. And so he would tell me like, yeah, he's done a lot. He's like, I've done everything you could think of. And I was like, well, okay. So yeah. And then I don't know what triggered him, to doing these things. I do not know. So that would be a good question to ask him. Because I haven't asked him. So who knows? I just know that at the rehab place, they like focus on like the things that make, that push you to doing those things. And like the drinking thing, he didn't start drinking until literally 2021. Right after we lost the second baby, that's when he picked up the drinking. So he was just drinking. And I was like, I thought he never drank, you guys. Like, he would have like a drink, like a mixed drink or something, but he would never like drink. Never drink. And so, and I was a drinker. I grabbed a drink at, but he didn't. And he just started drinking, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then, whatever. And then he relapsed a second time. But that time I already knew, and I'm like, because, it was like a 2-day, and I was like, I'm like, you over here hanging out with your little friends, and I don't know, you go to work, but I don't know these people, and you're being really weird. And also another thing, you guys, their heart rate is really fast. Because I remember putting my hand on his chest or like my head, and I would do that shit on purpose because I'd be like, why is your heart beating hella fast? You're just laying down. Like, there's no reason for your heart rate to be crazy right now. So that's another thing. And their eyes cannot, like, they can't look at you like this because it'd be like, and I don't know if they're looking at you because that's the question I always wanted to ask them. Can you see me? Or are you like looking everywhere? You know what I mean? I don't know. And yeah, so that was another thing. Oh, that second time though, I knew it. I guess I knew it, but I didn't want to admit it to myself because I'm like, are you doing fucked up shit again? And he goes, no. And I was like, because you're acting real funny. Like, your eyes are like funny. Okay. And so whatever, right? So I remember this day we went upstairs, and then he gets up hella fast, and I was like, oh hell no, bitch. I already know. Like, I just had that feeling. He got up hella fast, and he went downstairs, and I like followed him in because I was like, what the fuck? And he's looking at the window. We had like a little window at the stairs. Like, here's like our room's like right here. You would come out, turn a little bit, go downstairs. There was a window right here, and then you would turn this way, and the door's right there. If that even made sense. So then a little window, and he was like looking out, and I was like, mind you guys, we lived in a private community. Like, private from the entrance, and then every section of the housings had their gate. And they didn't just open by themselves, okay? And so, whatever. And so I'm like, what the fuck is he looking at? Like, I was like, what happened? He's like, nothing. And I was like, okay. I was like, whatever. I'm not, whatever. So I went to go lay down. All of a sudden, the whole house went black. And I was like, oh my God. Like, what the fuck? So then I get up. I go downstairs because I was like, okay, bitch, here we go. I go downstairs and slowly I'm looking and I was like, what are you doing? And he goes, nothing. I'm just turning this on. I was like, you just turned it off. Everything in the house, you just turned it off. He goes, no, I'm turning it on. I said, bitch, do I look like I was born yesterday? I was like, no, you just turned everything off. Like, it went black. Like, everything was dark. Like, you just turned it off. Like, why are you turning it on? Like, why are you touching it? There's no need for you to touch the light switches, the what's it called? Whatever that thing is. And he was just trying to act stupid. And I was like, okay. So I was like, all right, okay. Let's just get through the fucking night. And so I grabbed my keys. Mind you, I had went to the store, I think it was. I left my remote in the car because I was like, okay, bitch, if I gotta go, bitch, and my remote is in the car and I'm about to be out. Because I know his ass is playing again. So then, that's where I fucked up. See, that's what I'm telling you. Everything in life is supposed to happen because, girl, I never leave my remote in the car, okay? Whatever. And that night, I was like, I'm keeping my keys in my pocket. I was wearing like a hoodie and I had my keys in my pocket. No, bitch, I took his fucking keys. I don't know why the hell I did that. I took his keys because I was like, I don't want him to leave because, you know, he's going to fucking take off and blah, blah, blah. And he's laying down. I was like, oh, come lay down. Like, let's go to sleep. And he goes, okay. I was like, just go to sleep. Like, it's okay. So he's laying there. And all of a sudden, he gets up. He doesn't turn on the lights, and he gets up. And I was like, whatever. I'm never tripping. I have his keys. Bitch. Then, all of a sudden, I'm like, my fucking keys, bro. Oh, because then he came by my side of the bed. And I was like, what are you looking for? He's like, nothing. And then it just went, I was like, my fucking keys. So, bitch, I got up so fast. I don't know where I left my keys. Where did I leave my keys? I left them downstairs somewhere. And I ran so fucking fast, and I think he realized it too, that we both, like, I ran and he was heading out the door already. And I fucking ran, but I wasn't fast enough, so he got in my fucking car and he fucking took off. And I was like, you little... And so then I was like, okay, he's probably going to come back. His ass never came back. I had to go pick his ass up in Mexicali because his ass went over there. I don't know why the hell he went over there. I asked him. I was like, why would you go? Dude, you could have went to San Diego at this fucking point. You know what I mean? You could have just tried to cross with my car. Like, at this point, just, you know. And he was like, no, like, I went over there. Mind you, this man has never been to Mexicali, so I don't even know how he got over there. I don't know how. And the way to get there, it is so scary. If you guys ever been to, if you're in California, if you guys ever been to, how would I know if mine is doing anything in prison? That's the thing, you guys. Like, you can't really know. That's the thing. Like, you can't. Because, girl, I didn't. I mean, I could tell you, like, if there's like a change in their attitude and they get in trouble, the only thing that they do, and the only way you would know if they're doing something is if they do because usually in prison they'll do a random pee test, especially if you're going to family visit, and that's where they caught his ass. And so, you know, they'll do random tests, you know, whatever. And that's, you know, if they test positive and they get in trouble, they get their visits taken away for 90 days, 60 days, 90 days, I forgot. They get time added. They get no food. I mean, no canteen. Mine said he used to do crack before, but he doesn't. That's the thing. I'm going to tell you guys one thing. And this is just me being honest, because at least from what I've learned, at least for myself, a lot of people that have done stuff before prison are more likely to do things after prison, because I've said this, you know, people come out with the same mentality that they go in with. They don't change, you guys, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of people will sit here and be like, but he's older and he's more mature and now we're together and yeah, whatever, cool. But they haven't lived life like we have, at least in the outside world. Like, yes, you know, they've had birthdays, yes, they're older, but they haven't had the experience of being, you know, if they went in at 18, they haven't had the experience of a 19, of a 20, of a 21, of a 22-year-old, and so on and so on and so on. So they haven't had all that life experience because all they've been doing is just hanging out in there. You know what I mean? They've been just in their cells, working out, watching TV, reading books is their normal life, which is what everybody else does in there. And so them coming out is, you know, now they're out. It's so easy to get, which is something I didn't even realize, that it was so easy to find and get. I did not know that, okay, until like now. And so, you know, and I'm just saying, because they can be clean. They can be clean. But maybe something triggers them when they're out, you know, maybe they get triggered, like it becomes too much for them. Or maybe there's a memory that comes back in their head, and, you know, and mind you, I think a lot of people in there are probably sober, just because the cost of stuff in there is like, girls, like going to Disneyland, okay? And then you come out here and it's just like basic prices, I guess. I don't really know how much that shit is, but it's normal, you know? What something can cost you $200 in there is gonna cost you here $20. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, you know. And so it's easier to get. It's easier to find. And so if you just, I think if it's just overwhelming, it's just easy to do. And for me, that's what it seems like it is. And I think Eric said that in the podcast, or I don't know, or he told me. It's a way to cope with whatever that they're going through. Just like alcoholism, people drink to cover whatever they're feeling, or people, you know, do so many different things to cover how they're feeling, or like to numb the pain, or to numb the memories, or to, you know, not think of whatever. And so that's what, you know, either some people eat, some people sleep, some people drink, some people cut, some people, I don't know, fight people. I don't know, you know, it's just different situations. So I feel like when it just becomes too much, it's just easier anyways to do compared to them in prison. Do you know what I'm saying? So to me, I think it's just easier. And I think Eric said it in the podcast, like, you know, if you have somebody that, you know, that's going through that, like, put them in a place, you know, put them in a rehab place. And don't just put them in a rehab place. Like, do your research. Try to find places. Go look at the places, because some of them, because we had heard of places in Mexico that were like hardcore, like tie up and like abusive type of thing, like just crazy. And so we were like, we need to make sure that it's not like that, because he's already like tripping out, and we don't need him to be, you know, traumatized even more. So yeah. And so the place where he's at now, like, it's good, you know, he gets therapy, he gets all this stuff, and like motivates him to be better. So, which is great, you know. And there's always a lot of people there, and he's like, you see all kinds of people here, like lawyers and for alcohol and just everything, you know. And it happens to a lot of people, you know. And so yeah. And it's sad when you see somebody like that, because it's like, damn, like you have no control over your life at all. And it's like, and I think about it like, okay, coffee is addicting, okay? Coffee is, caffeine or whatever. If you drink energy drinks or if you drink coffee, you fucking know. Try to go a day without drinking one of those things, and and then you try to leave it and you're like, oh, I have headaches or whatever. Your body starts, you know, to whatever. What is it, withdrawal? And these are just little things. That's like coffee and, you know, these monster drinks or whatever. So just imagine something stronger, because that's how I had to put it in perspective, as like, holy shit, like when I drink coffee, like there's no day I cannot go without coffee. I just can't, because then I feel like my day is not productive, or my day is not whatever. So I need it. That's how I feel, like I need it. But then when I try to, it's like I can't, because I'm like, fuck, I'll just have one cup. I'll just have one cup and I'll be fine. So I'll have the one cup. And then the next day I'm like, okay, I'll have one. And then I end up with two. And then I try to stop, but it's hard. So that's how I had to put it for myself, to understand, I guess, him and like what he's going through, or like what, you know. So yeah. That at least I could understand. Because it'd be like, just stop. Like, why can't you just stop? Like, I don't understand. Like, it doesn't do any good for you. It clearly hasn't brought anything good in your life. You know what I mean? But that's just not how they see it, you know? And so, yeah, you know, and it's, I started watching that intervention show on Hulu. And like when they do the interventions, like they tell the family, like, you know, you need to let them know, like, either what is your not boundaries, your, I guess boundaries. You know, you either go here, you get better, or, you know, you either go there or you don't, and I never talk to you again. But you have to follow through, because they will make you feel so bad. They will make you feel bad, like, you know, and I seen this show and it's crazy because you can't, you know, they just beg and beg for either money or for whatever. I mean, one of the chicks or the dudes had their mom driving them to get whatever they needed. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, are you serious right now? And so we enable them at the same time, because either, you know, we don't ask, or we just let them keep doing it, or we're just like, whatever. And it's like either or, you know. And so they need to really understand, like, if you're going to keep doing this, like, I won't talk to you or whatever. Or you get your shit together, you know. So yeah, it's very hard, but just keep an open mind to this, you know, because life is hard anyways for them when they come home, because they're trying to readjust. That's why I say, and I've said this from the beginning, like, if they go into a halfway house or they go to some program, don't even be mad about it. Like, be thankful, because that is going to help them. Okay, that is going to help them. It's going to help them a lot. You know, I know a lot of people don't like when their mans go to like a halfway house, because they're like, oh my God, I'm not going to see him. Bitch, be thankful, because that's going to help them. Like, that's going to give them the first couple of steps. You know, parole situation is going to help them, because they have to have a job. They have to do certain things in order for them to get off of parole. So it's a good thing, you know. And so yeah, then when they're just thrown out and they just have to figure it out themselves, you know. Because it's a lot, girl. It is a lot. My coffee is very sweet for no reason. But yeah, that's all I have to say, I think. What the heck? But yeah, I don't know. What puse? I don't know if anybody has anything different. Anybody want to add anything? Like I said, if you guys have a story or anything, well, you guys can put it on here, or you can send a text message or call us or whatever. It's up to you. What's up with my coffee though? It tastes really sugary. So yeah. But I think that's important, you know, keep an open mind. Just have a fucking open mind. Because a lot of the times you guys were very closed-minded. We're very closed-minded in the sense of, like, we think things are going to go exactly how we planned, and they don't. They do not. You know, don't expect this happy family and, you know, whatever. There was a girl on TikTok that I clicked on it. Like, I was scrolling, and I tell you guys, sometimes I'm just like, okay, whatever. Because, like, I was scrolling or whatever, minding my business, and then this girl was like, to all the prison wives, she was talking about, like, she made 3 different fucking parts, and I'm like, girl, you only needed one video to tell us, because I watched the first one, and I was like, I didn't get anything from it, but I guess it was that her man was in prison, and she has a health condition, so she told her doctor she wanted to get off the medicine that helped her stay alive, I guess, I don't know, because just in case she got pregnant, and I was like, I have so much to say right now, but it's not my place to say anything. But then again, she was like, well, what do you guys think? And I was like, well, bitch, you do not want to know what I think. Because I think you're dumb. You know, and a lot of the times, you guys, I feel like as prison wives, we want to do everything and anything for the person that is incarcerated. And it's like, no, bitch, you need to take care of yourself. Like, yourself. And I'm just saying, if you're one of them, please, you guys, please don't. And, you know, and I remember being in this situation myself. And I've told you guys openly, like, please, if your person is in prison, don't intentionally, if it's an accident, like it just happened, whatever, that's fine. But intentionally, please don't go planning to have a whole ass baby with somebody that's in prison. Just please, you know, that's one thing I said I would never do. Because one, I was like, you know, the trauma that my kid's gonna go through, just like dad's not around, and I would just weekend visits and in jail, and like I did it on purpose, like, you know what I mean? And I was like, no, like, and then at the same time I was like, he's not gonna be able to do any of the great advice. Well, thank you. You know, dad is not gonna be able to do the things that a dad should, you know, because I'm gonna tell you, inmates, because that's what they're, inmates, they want kids. They want kids with whoever they're with, and they want to marry whoever they're with, and they want to make them their princesses and their lovers and whatever, and their baby mamas and everything. But it's a different story when they come home. And that's one thing that I knew. I was like, okay, first of all, I don't want to do this shit alone. Which, mind you, still doing it alone. But at least it's different, you know? And I was like, I'm sorry, I do not want to be in a situation where I have to take my child to go, you know, to prison, because I don't want to do that. Like, that's, no, I don't want to do that. That's too much. Like, it's too much for me as an adult. And as a kid, I don't know. I don't want my kid to be like, I went to visit my dad since I was born. No. So anyways, and I have met girls, one, maybe two, that like intentionally planned this situation. I'm like, what are you gonna get out of this? And I remember one of them, her dude was a lifer, and I was like, it's none of my business. It's none of my business. But you already have one whole ass kid, okay, ma'am? Why would you want to have another one with a man that's gonna be in here forever? I'm like, let's think about the kids here a little bit. I'm just like, so that's just my advice. Don't do it. I don't care if you're like, but no, bitch, don't do it. Like, don't do it. Like, don't think about it like, I want to give him a kid. No, because we don't know how this person, selfish for sure. Oh, for sure. And then let me tell you something. I've seen so many and I can't understand. I cannot either, because then you have your kid now that with the man that's in prison. Like, if I would have got pregnant the first time I went to family visit, let's see, that was 2013. Shit. That's 10 fucking years this year. Sure, I've been married, I guess. I've been married for 10 years this year. Next month. Holy shit. Oh, Jesus. So my kid would have been maybe like about to be 9 or something. I don't fucking know. But it's like, look at that shit. The trauma from being visiting in prison, family visits, visiting, whatever. Because I purposely wanted to have a kid, right? Whatever. And got deported. Now we're moving to Mexico. Then dad's tripping the fuck out. So then, you know, now I have to holler my kid everywhere I go to go find his dad because his dad can't get it together. You know what I mean? Like, no. Because we don't know how they're going to act when they come home, you guys. And that's just a whole different other fucking part. You don't want to be dealing with the whole ass man and then have your child see this. And let me tell you something, because I could just be like, oh, that's just you, Carla. Nah, bitch, that's not just me. Because there was somebody, okay, not my story, what I saw. He was very nice too, okay? He was an older man. He was in prison for, I think, 25 years or something like that. He was super nice guy, really nice guy. And he was an older guy. Went out, they want to live it up. Exactly. So, girl, no. Just save yourself, okay? Save yourself. And, anyways, so he lived by himself, where we lived at, right? Luego, don't be naive, ladies. Exactly. Don't be naive. Whatever that means. Yes, that. So, if vivía solo, right? He lived by himself. He was cool. He would talk to his wife, whatever. His wife ended up moving to where the fuck, you know, like they lived. And I guess they were having the same type of issues. Or go back. Hold on. Or go back where, girl? Fuck, what was I saying? Oh, his wife moved to be with him, and they had like a 3-year-old, 2-year-old or something like that to prison. Oh yeah, for sure. And like a 2-year-old, it was a baby, so cute little girl. And I remember one time, you guys, yo pasé. He had told Eric, like, you know, they had problems and she was tripping out. And again, that goes back to the whole, you know, they've been in prison for so long. They don't know how to be partners. They don't know how to be husband. They just don't know, because their mentality is at where the hell they went to, the age that they were when they went to prison. So I remember one time, I think I passed by in my car. Why did I pass by? I think I was going to work. I don't know, but it was very early. Very early. It was probably like 3 in the morning. I don't know what the fuck I was doing at 3 in the morning. Probably going to work. But I drove by. He didn't see me. And he was outside, you guys. Their private thing was here. And they were across the main street over here. There was a gate on a fence. He was on this side of the fence. And she was on the other side of the fence. She was sitting, I guess, on the tables. And he was on the sidewalk with his fucking baby. And I was like, dude, it's like 3 in the morning. And they had another son that was like 11 or something. So I don't know where the fuck he was at. And I'm just like, it's 3, 4, or whatever in the morning. That baby should not be out here in the streets because you guys are arguing, because, you know, you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on with her. Like, that is not the place for a baby. Like, I fucking know that shit. And you guys are older than me. Like, that don't make sense. And so I remember telling Eric, I was like, dude, I seen him outside like at 3 in the morning. Like, when I got home, he's like, what the fuck? I was like, yeah, like, that's messed up, dude. Like, y'all shouldn't be arguing with this whole ass baby. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, now you're traumatizing this child that's such a little baby, and because y'all are arguing and y'all can't get it together. Like, if she wants to go outside, let her go herself. Don't take the baby with you. I don't know, but that right there is just like, you just don't know what it's going to be like when they get out. And nobody's saying it's going to be horrible. Nobody's going to say it's going to be great. You just don't know. And it's better to just hope. My friend used to say, my sis would say, hope for the best. What'd she say? Hope for the best and plan for the worst. I forgot, some shit like that. And that's fucking true. You know, because you just never know. And that's one thing that I'm like, I just can't. So yeah, you know, we had family visits for how many years? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 7 years, lies, 6 years, because the last one, 20, he was already out. So 6 years. We had family visits for 6 years. Not once did I get pregnant. I was not trying to get pregnant either. How were your family visits? Like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? They were great. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean, girl? Like, how long? Family visits in California are... You go in Friday morning. That's Friday, 24th, Saturday. 47? I could look it up. I feel like, well, at least when I went, it was 47. Because it's not a complete 48 hours. Because they'll tell you 48 hours. And it's actually like 47. Because I remember looking it up in the book. But this was years ago. And then they're supposed to be every 90 days. But yet again, lifers get family visits now. So it's way longer. The wait is long. The longest we ever had to wait was like 6 months. 9 months, 6 months, some shit like that. I think we all have different situations. I enjoyed our pregnancy by myself. We made it to 2 visits. He, an amazing father, wouldn't have any other way. 2 visits ain't nothing, girl. That's fine. We're talking years. Like, you know, if your man is a lifer, or if you're like planning, you know, because I've met people that married, which is, if you're that, that's fine. um, within months of knowing each other, like 3 months, like legally married, you know? And I'm saying, like, if you have a baby like 1 year in and then your man still got like 15 to go, no, not the way. But I'll tell you this, because I just remember, now you said that story, I just remembered of this lady in 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝘆𝘀. Here it's every month. Damn. That they have space then. Every month? Damn. There was a lady in 𝗪𝗲𝗀𝘀, right? It was an older couple. They were like Mexican, I think. And I remember I talked to her that one time, and she was like, yeah, we used to give family visits. And I was like, oh yeah, because her man's a lifer. And so I was like, oh wow. I've never been though. Well, if you get married, I mean, I don't know how the other states work. California is just so open to everything. So she goes, yeah, like, you know, we had family visits. They got married. They had family visits. She ended up getting pregnant. And so they had a daughter. And they had been, their daughter was like 20-something years old. And I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah, like sometimes she comes and sees her dad. You know, and I was like, holy shit. This fool been here for this long? And I was like, that's crazy. And I mean, how old is that girl probably now? Like 40 something? Which is crazy, you know, but I'm like, you know, her whole life, like her whole life has just been of, I see my dad on the weekends. Because she got pregnant when he was in prison. And so that's where I'm like, I don't think that's okay. Like, you spend your whole entire life as like, I only see my dads on the weekend, which a lot of people do that. But prison is a different story. And then, you know, you can't invite them to go to like your school meetings or your school plays or your school dances because of that, you know? So to me, that's kind of like, I don't see the point of that. I just don't. And I get it, you know, people want to have kids. People want to have kids with somebody that they love. But at the same time, it's kind of like, I would love to ask kids or people that have been born while their parent has been incarcerated. Because maybe it's just me thinking this, but maybe it's not, you know, I don't know. But you know what? We're going to have to find somebody to ask them, like, did it affect them? Or is it just kind of like, how was it, you know? Because for me, the way that I see it is like, oh, I mean, shit, my dad was not in prison, and my dad, you know, I wouldn't really come around. But it was because he really didn't want to, you know what I mean? And then then I got older, and I mean, we were around each other. But it, you know, damn, I don't know. So I'm like, that affected me. So I don't know if, you know, if growing up with your dad being in prison your whole life, or for most of your childhood, since you've been born, is what I'm trying to say. You know, because I know there's a lot of people that have kids before they go to prison. And, you know, and it's like, okay, well, that was clearly unplanned. But I'm saying, like, you know, they're born with their parent being in prison, and then they grow up with their parent being in prison for years and years and years. I mean, we've seen it with female girls, prisoners, ladies, whatever. But those are the moms. So if you guys ever watch Love After Lockup with Lizzie, her daughter, and even the other girl, the one that was a stripper, in the last season where her dad married that one old man, growing up, my dad was locked up for a while, and it really made me resent him and my mom. Like, since you were like a little baby? Or was he just like always like in and out? Would you have to go see him as a kid? I always wonder what that's like. You know? Because a lot of the times, you guys, most of the times, like in and out. That's crazy. That's messed up. Sorry, girl. Because I just think about it, because, you know, it's like, but oh wait, what I was going to say is most of the times, you guys, most of the times, and at least I can say like in a room full of, you know, visitings or whatever, most of the time, the kids that are visiting somebody, they're not even related to them in any type of way or form. They're like the step kids, I guess you want to call them. And so I don't know. I'm like, that's a whole different story. But a lot of women do that. A lot of women do that. A lot of women, you know, take their kids to visit their boy. Bitch, I'm seeing shit. I swear to God. I'm tripping the fuck out. I'm tripping out. Would go often and I would hate it. Not because I didn't love my dad, but because I felt forced. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah, like you felt like you had to go because your mom told you you had to go. That sucks. That sucks. You know? Just, it's just so, I don't know. I think like prison situations, they are made, and that's why I hate, and people are like, we've been talking about the show and stuff, how they glamorize and people on TikTok glamorize these relationships of like, you know, being married to somebody incarcerated or dating somebody incarcerated. You know, we glamorize it because like, if I've said this, you know, we start dating somebody in prison and then the next thing you know, it's like, do you want to marry me? Oh yes, I do. And you know, somehow we end up with like every person that is a prison wife has gotten their ring, most people. And I mean, no, sorry, let me reword it, because then somebody will be like, I didn't pay for my thing. We pick our own rings, and most of us pay our own rings. Just saw a little boy peek out. Fuck you. Now, how is it with your daughter and her dad been in Mexico? Sorry, that came out of my mouth. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Ah! Woo! The chills, bitch. The chills this fucker just gave me. And I would believe you, but not kids. I don't think there's any kids in this fucking house. I think it's like older people. I'll tell you guys something, right? So, I'm not psychic or anything, but most of the times I do feel like sometimes the house feels kind of weird. For me, like my energy shifts sometimes. Like I don't know, my energy just shifts or whatever. And so there's been like times where when it shifts, girl, yes, take their kids to see them. That's so sad. Why does the kid have to be dragged into the mix? The dude might be a great dude, etc. But just wait until they come out. Now you can video chat. Yeah, it's true. You can video chat. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I sometimes I would remember me and Eric would sit there, and huh? She crying? My opinion about when they drag kids into it, it's not their kids. It's a big deal. Did she burp? ¿Está llorando? En la cama está un chupón. I'm about to go. I'm about to go. There's a chupón right there in the bed. Yeah, so I feel like my energy has shifted in a couple days. Or like I noticed it today because I keep feeling like I see things from the corner of my eye. And like just like I get like I've got like scared. And usually I don't get like scared if I see something or feel whatever. I do. That's how I feel like there's something, or feel like there's a shift, like a vibe or a shift in the energy or whatever. Because I feel it in my body, not just like me trying to pretend or whatever the fuck. So right now I heard something over there. When I looked, it looked like something moved, so I thought something fell or something. But then I just got really scared, like the chills. And then this fucking guy's like, I saw a kid, and I was like, oh! I literally almost died inside. But I was like, no, that's not true. Which I had to like process it and be like, no, like there isn't any. Like I never feel like they're kids. I always feel like they're older people, like viejitos. I don't know why. I don't know why. I've never felt like a kid vibe situation. So, but anyways, yeah. And I feel like my alertness to things around me is like really high. So, yeah. I'm about to start my drive. Someone call and tell us the life story. Tell us your life story. I know. Let's see. Somebody tell us a story, text us, let us know something. Nobody wants to call today. Sometimes people want to call, sometimes they don't. Text us, send us a story, let us know your first date, your first visit, how did that go? Your last visit, how did that go? Whatever, you know, whatever. Did you see something crazy in visiting? What is your craziest story from visit if you've been to prison or visited a prison or whatever? Let us know. Send us a text. Tell us a story. Send us a story. Let us know. But yeah, you guys, so let me see. But don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, you guys. Don't not forget. Monday, we have a new Carla and Eric episode, girl. My mom is like, when are you going to come upstairs? Your daughter needs you. I've seen a couple in the enhanced visit. Enhanced? What the hell is that, girl? Is my mom still waiting for me to go upstairs? Can you hear her? My mom can never have Evelyn for like any more than 30 minutes because she'd be like, excuse me. That scared me for life. What do you mean? What do you mean, girl? I mean, I've seen some weird ones before. I mean, I've seen I haven't. Eric has seen fucking spirits and shit. Not spirits, shadows in Family Visit. Which is like, what the fudge? Oh yeah, I remember that time. I was scared. Maybe I'm gonna have to do like story times with Eric. Because we have a lot of stories we can tell you guys. Like some good stories, some funny stories, scary stories. All just from prison, okay? Hold on, you guys. You tell us your first Family Visit story. Oh, Lord. Enhanced visit room is when you can sit next to them and walk outside and stuff. Oh, we're not allowed to go outside. California banned that shit for a reason. For a reason. Okay, so my first family visit, I burned our food. What? Okay, so our first family visits were in Salinas Valley. Get on this. The first visit, I got strip searched. Fun, you know? Funness. Because my bra kept going off. My bra that I was wearing had like little metal, which mind you, they should have been plastic, but I guess not. There were like little metal hoops on the back right here on the strap, and so that shit kept going off. So I got strip searched on my first time visit. So that was fun. And then I was told that if I needed help to run outside, because a couple weeks before that, somebody had been beaten up by their partner. And I was like, why would you tell me this right now? Like, I'm going into a room with a person I've never been by myself with. Like, are you kidding me? I was like, all right, okay. And he's way stronger than me. Like, I can do so much, and I know what I can do, and I know what I can't do. Okay? And I don't know if I can do that one. Just saying. So anyways, So as they're walking me over, you know, he's like, yeah, if you need anything, like run outside the tower. The tower will see you and then we'll come get you. And I was like, okay, you know, or pick up the phone and say you need help or yell or whatever. And I was like, okay. And so everyone's crying. So then I was like, okay, like I will try to do the best I can, I guess, if I need to. So yeah, he opened, like Eric was already in there. I was so nervous because I was like, oh my God, like, mind you, we had already been together for 3 years, 3.5 probably. And I'm just like, I'm in a room with a person I've never been by myself with. Like, I didn't even know him in this. Like, I don't even know him. Like, I really don't even know him. I don't know him. He's a criminal, you know? Like, what the fuck? So then I was like, oh, this sounds that's not a good idea. This is not a good idea. So then, and I was really scared. I was nervous. And so then because there's locks on the gates. So he opens my door. And I was like, oh, I'm going first. He's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. He dropped me off first. And I was like, carrying my bags and stuff. And I was like, all right, try to be cool. And so then he opens the gate. As he's opening the gate, Eric's like coming out of the unit. No, lies. I don't think he did. I think they walked me in. How did that happen? No, I think, no, he didn't. He just opened, okay? Yes, I guess in a little bit. Just put her in the crib then. My mom does not help for shit. Haha, that he's a criminal. That's hysterical. He is. And then let me just tell my one story, then I'll go. And so then he opens the gate. I go in and I was like, do I just go in? And he's like, yeah, you just go in, open the door. I was like, okay. You're gonna watch me? Like, okay. So I just like walk and I was like, oh Lord Jesus. And so then he opens the door and I go in and I was like, oh my God, like, why do I need to be in here right now by myself? Because I was so nervous. And so he grabs my stuff and he's like hugging me and I was like, oh. And in my mind, because I think I've been so traumatized from like visitings, that I'm just like, don't hug me because I don't want to get in trouble, you know? Because in visiting, like, you can only hug, like, a brief hug. And so that was, like, in my mind. But then it was, like, I couldn't really say anything because I was like, there's nobody here. Like, nobody's going to tell us anything. And so, you know, like, the food was already there because we ordered, like, canteen stuff. And so then, and then, like, fresh produce if they had some, like, apples, bread, eggs, and stuff like that, butter, whatever they would give us, I guess, like during, if you ordered like, what was it? You could order a different shit. Every place is different. Whatever. Chips, popcorn, soups, whatever. And so yeah, and then we were there, we put everything away, and the guy was like, okay, they only give you like sábanas, they don't give you blankets. You cannot take your own. These hard ass prison pillows. And yeah, there's two rooms. And then we were there for fucking 47 hours. And then we watched movies. We made food. You could go outside because, like, yeah, all the places have like a metal fence around the units, so you can go outside and like eat. They have like a table, so you can go out there and hang out. Fuck, it's cool. Girl, it's like snowing out there. Oh my God. So it was nice, you know. It was, come on, Luna. I'm gonna freeze. You're gonna freeze and I'm gonna freeze. And so, you know, it was nice to like hang out and like not be around all the guards and stuff. So that was nice. Yeah. And then they'll call you and be like, they call you after 6 p.m. every like 2 hours. Well, they call him, and so he has to answer, and he has to step outside or stick his head out or whatever they need them to do. But they do count. They do count while they're in there too. The first time they wanted me to get on the phone, And then there's other times where they wanted me to step outside too, because they wanted to make sure I was a live girl. And and that's about it. It's pretty nice, you know. So if you do get them, you know, every place is different. I remember the last place 𝗪𝗻𝕋 had like a PlayStation or Xbox or something. Oh, and he was playing video games, and I was like, okay. Well, that's nice, something different, because Selena's didn't have a lot of. They didn't really have anything, but their units were actually pretty big. So that was nice. 𝗪𝗻𝕋 was pretty small. Like, 𝗪𝗻𝕋 was literally the size of our apartment in TJ. That's crazy. I just thought about that right now. And then that's all we went to. We never went to Jamestown because then he got out. So yeah, I mean, they're pretty nice. You know, you get to have like that quality time, I guess. Like, feel like you're actually dating somebody, or you're actually with somebody, or whatever, because it doesn't feel like you're in prison until they start calling you like every 2 hours. So that's the good thing about it, you know. You spend time together without somebody telling you like, no, hugging, don't touch his leg, or don't touch his hair, or don't touch whatever it may be. So that's nice. But yeah, so nobody has called, nothing today. But I'm gonna have to go, you guys, because my kid. But I'm gonna see if I can put her to sleep, and I will probably go live on TikTok. That way I don't have like one or another live on here. So we'll just do this one. And then look at my hair though, girl. These are all my baby hairs. Obviously not this one, but I'm gonna cut this one. Nobody wants to call today. Nobody wants to send anything today. But yeah, and then I'll go live on TikTok because it's still early. Let me be more specific. I set the fire alarm on all the little houses. Oh my god, that is funny. I would have been so mad. That's hilarious. That was all inside, huh? Inside building? We never went to an inside building once. Selena's were all outside. 𝗪𝗻𝕋 were all outside. Were they inside? Let me put this away, because I feel like my mom's gonna start like, Carla, are you coming already? That's why I can never do anything, you know, because as soon as Evelyn starts crying or something, they're like, come get your kid. And I'm like, why can't you guys just wait a little bit? Whatever. Let me drink my water. But I'll go live on TikTok. Make sure you guys follow my embarrassed. Like, I'll be like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. That shit happened to us one time. Good night, Carla. Thanks for sharing. Yes, girl. And of course, the lives will be saved, and you guys can rewatch them. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe. All the proceeds of my social media accounts will go for my future house. Just to let you guys know. So make sure you guys watch and subscribe and like. Oh my god, I was only sitting for like an hour. Oh my god, I'm so sore. Oh, I'm tired. But yeah, I'm wearing fucking shorts and I'm cold. I'm gonna put Evelyn to sleep, and then I will go live on TikTokers. So make sure you follow me on TikTokers. So come hang out on TikTok. Maybe like in an hour or less. See if Evelyn goes to sleep. But yeah, thank you guys for joining and sharing and having a conversation with me, you guys. And don't forget to check out the new episodes on next week, which Monday and Wednesday. And yeah, for the podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. And remember, always, you guys can always let us know if there's something you guys want to talk about. We will talk about it on the podcast. And I will be making more YouTube videos. I'm gonna figure out how we can do it with Eric, but we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, thank you guys for joining me. I know I went on live earlier because Evelyn was sleeping and she was supposed to stay asleep for a while, but she didn't. So now I have to go be a mom again after an hour. But okay, I will talk to you guys later. And remember to go check out TikTok, okay, guys? All right, have a good night. Bye.